Sakai, another video on identity. In this video, I'm going to talk about how we put labels, the various labels on ourselves, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, and rethinking how we use labels and um, identifying context-dependent labels of the reality of the situation, context-dependent labels of the reality of the situations. What I mean by that is, for instance, then you may act stupidly or with stupidity in certain contexts, right? And instead of kind of denying that, right, into one extreme, like denying that it was not a stupid act, in fact, you might try to defend your behavior. So instead of going to that extreme, or on the other extreme, you call yourself stupid or an idiot or whatever, find the middle ground where you acknowledge that you acted with stupidity in that context, but neither defend yourself nor put a fixed label on yourself. So in other words, you recognize and acknowledge the fact that you behave in a stupid manner in a certain context, and acknowledge that, but realize that in that particular context, that's what happened. It doesn't mean you are stupid for the rest of your life. It means that you can change, you can improve, you can do things better or different next time you have similar experiences. So that's really important to be able to kind of not put a fixed label on yourself. And it goes the same with positive labels. Let's say you do really well in a test or in an exam, or you get an award. Instead of saying you're smart or intelligent or you're great or whatever, you say, well, in that context, yeah, you got an award, you got a high exam, you acted smart, you probably studied really hard, you did the right thing, and that's what happened. This label is again not fixed. You might act stupidly in another context, or act really dumb and idiotic in a different context, even though you were very smart in one context. I think if you can develop this kind of mindset where you understand these labels are transitional and changing all the time, and you don't attach yourself to these labels, you don't create a fixed identity or put a fixed label on yourself because of certain experiences in different contexts, then that you will actually reflect more of what reality actually is. In reality, identities are constantly changing, they're context dependent, and it's important to understand this transitional nature of labels and identities. So next time you have an experience where you either act really in a way that you can put a positive label on yourself, acknowledge that it was a smart thing to do, maybe to understand the context of that. Likewise, if you do something outrageous or stupid or dumb or whatever, acknowledge that as well, and so no need to defend yourself. Acknowledge that. It doesn't mean that you have that fixed trait. It just means in that context that's what happened. You can learn and you can grow and you can do things differently next time. Okay, so I hope this kind of gave you a bit of an overview of how to use labels to not kind of be attached to these kind of labels, or identify yourself, or perpetuate a kind of a label than trying to defend, because usually labels perpetuate certain traits. Now, sometimes it could be good. In fact, if you think you're smart, you might kind of perpetuate that intelligence. But then sometimes when in certain situations you act stupid, you're trying to still defend that identity that you put on yourself, and not be able to grow and learn from experiences. So that's the danger of perpetuating labels and fixed labels. And the other opposite direction, where if you put negative labels on yourself, you're again perpetuating a negative trait, and not allowing yourself to grow and develop and understand that you can learn and you can and do things better and different. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and be keen to hear your feedback and comments. So thank you, and see you next time.